the game, win it life, have no shame. There's no time, feel the pain, live the grind. I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb. The only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay. I'm not on screen today, obviously, and I won't be doing a call-in live. I'm going to have to postpone it to next week because I'm not feeling great at all. This morning I woke up, I was sneezing all day yesterday, and I'm just not feeling it, you know? Really not feeling good. Oh, guys. So hopefully Timmy and Alex will be okay if we postpone it till next week. I am sorry, guys. The Yorkshire lass said 1939 Cancer Act, it's illegal to cure cancer. Allegedly, okay? Now, everything mentioned here is theory until proven fact, and everyone mentioned is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, okay? Okay, let's get on with it. It's illegal to cure cancer, allegedly, passed by Parliament in UK. This was also being applied by the US. Did you know that under the 1939 Cancer Act, it's a criminal offence for medical practitioners to even advise patients on potential cures? This raises the question, wouldn't it be considered fraudulent for cancer charities to accept donations under the assumption they were searching for a cure, when it's actually a criminal act for them to publicise such cures? It's in effect today, and medical practitioners are being prosecuted for attempting to cure it. In the United States, some have been jailed for doing so. Wow. And they include the legislation here. Okay, where are we? Okay, for England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Okay, let me have a look. I just want to make sure. No person shall take any part in the publication of any advertisement containing an offer to treat any person for cancer or to subscribe any remedy thereof or to give any advice in connection with the treatment thereof. If any person contravenes any of the provisions of the foregoing subsection, he shall be liable on summary conviction in the case of first conviction, to a fine not exceeding F4 level 3 on the standard scale, and in the case of subsequent conviction, a fine not exceeding F4 level 3 on the standard scale, or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months, or to both such a fine and such imprisonment. Okay, proceedings that the advertisement to which the proceedings relate was published only so far as was reasonably necessary to bring it to the notice of persons. Well, yeah, wouldn't that would it? Would that not apply to cancer charities looking for a cure? Yeah. Awakened Outlaw said Spygate has all of a sudden burst back onto the scene out of seemingly nowhere. Does anyone think this happened just by chance? I don't. And especially not when you consider the larger scope of events involved currently. Odds are that this, dropping indictments on all involved, will represent one of the first takedowns, and I think we're pretty damn close to it happening too. A lot of bad folks are not sleeping well, knowing full well what's coming. Yes, so this is going to be interesting. I've got a lot of people saying, things are happening. And Wokeness said March 15th timeline. 6:45 p.m, Judge Boasberg orders Trump to turn around flights of the deported gang members. 7:36 p.m, Plane 1 lands in Honduras. 8:02 p.m, Plane 2 lands in El Salvador. And 8:37 p.m, Plane 3 lands in Honduras. So what Trump looks like he's doing is ignoring the judge, which he should, because these are lower level judges. And Rolls said Carney is after our CPP. What is a CPP? This is obviously in Canada, right? Trying to find out what the CPP is. Okay, anyway, he's under investigation in the US for financial blackmail attempts to replace board members for cartel-friendly people. The allegations are so severe, BlackRock, 6 American banks and several Canadian banks have distanced themselves from Carney for fear of being sued. The CPP board answers to the Minister of Finance and can be replaced by the Governor and Council on his recommendation. The CPP board has 2 vacancies right now, and CPP is worth $699 billion as of December 2024. Champagne is a new Minister of Finance. Is FinTrack looking into this? CSIS RCMP. Okay, the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board. That's what it is, okay? Okay, so what's going on here? Sustainability shakedown, how a climate cartel of money managers colluded to take over the board of America's largest energy company. Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero form coordinated pressure campaigns to target US companies and demand they disclose, reduce and enforce net zero climate commitments. When companies refuse to surrender and comply, the climate cartel colludes to fire company board members and replace them with climate cartel-aligned members. Spearheaded by former Bank of England Governor Mark Carney, GFANZ sought to conscript private capital to align lending and investment decisions with the net zero by 2050 agenda in the Paris Agreement. The goal of G funds is straightforward economic blackmail. Comply with the Paris Agreement or lose access to the global financial system. Ooh. And Roll said, spend less and invest more didn't make sense until I realised he's after our CPP for his net zero agenda. Carney is so crooked. BlackRock, 6 major banks, followed by Canadian banks, walked away from G funds in fear of lawsuits. Whoa. Okay, so there you go. Betty Johnson said President Trump on the release of the Epstein files. It's going to be released. It's moving along, and it's moving along pretty rapidly. Let's have a listen. Got to make sure my volume's okay.
A lot of intrigue surrounding the release of the Epstein files, Martin Luther King files, John F. Kennedy files. Some current and former FBI agents are saying, some of them telling me, that they feel the FBI establishment came out ahead in the standoff sort of with the New York FBI field office over releasing the records, and your Attorney General Pam Bondi demanding them but not getting all that she wanted. Is that process still on track? I think that's one of the most often questions I've been asked the last couple of days, to release these records on Epstein, MLK, and JFK.
Well, Pam Bondi's done a phenomenal job in every respect. And there could have been some holdback. I haven't heard too much about it, but they could. But the bottom line is the records are getting out. The Kennedy records are getting out. Those are the ones I really wanted to see the most, were the Kennedys. And during my administration, as you know, I released a lot of them, but then a lot of people started coming in, people that I respected, people that worked for the administration, asked me not to release the rest. And I respected that. They gave me certain reasons, but I respected that. And I did say, I must tell you, I said that probably wish I did release the whole thing, because I have no idea what's in there. But since then they found, and we found, 2,000 more documents on Kennedy. And the one they want most is Kennedy, and it's going to be released. It's moving along, and it's moving along pretty rapidly. It doesn't go that
weeks
rapidly.
Maybe, or longer?
I say weeks. Yeah, I say weeks.
Okay, so weeks.
A lot of interest.
Within weeks. I don't know about the Epstein files, but the JFK ones are coming. Insurrection Barbie said the swatting of prominent conservatives is coordinated for the purpose of unleashing violence upon them so that they shut up. It's the same reason the left is targeting Teslas. Violence that is meant to influence political discourse is called domestic terrorism. And I'm not sure why these people think Joe Biden's still in charge, but they're about to find out. Okay, we got a concerned citizen here, Belgrade, Serbia. Over 1 million Serbs line the streets protesting the progressive globalist government and the state of their country. It's the same across almost every European nation. Go Serbia. Showing us how it's done. Okay, Clown World said I've done this before. When I'm behind a slow car, I steer my car a little to the right so the people behind me can see it isn't my fault. You know what? I do this, but it's to the left. Oh, dear. How many of you guys have done this? You move slightly over so the people behind you can see that you're not the one holding up the traffic. Okay, just thought I'd put that in because it's funny because I do it too, but the opposite way. Okay. Ian Miles Chong said the SpaceX team has arrived to retrieve NASA astronauts who were stranded on the International Space Station. They were abandoned by Biden, who refused to let Elon Musk rescue them with SpaceX. Look, I only put this in here because this lady's hair is actually kind of moving, still not how it should, I don't think. I don't know. Never been to space, can't tell you. This lady's hair is sort of more like it. What do you guys reckon? I don't know, but if you've been in space that long, I don't know, would you be a bit stinky? Just asking, I don't know. Like, you'd hug them anyway because, you know, God love them if they really were stuck in space. I'm just watching this going, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't quite buy it. Anyway, Wall Street Ape said, boom. Is the auto pen allowed for pardons? No, it's not constitutionally allowed for presidential pardons. Why? Because the US Constitution requires the president to be present. He was in a different state on vacation. Article 2, Section 2 grants the president the power to issue pardons, does not explicitly state the method. However, legal scholars' past interpretations argue the pardons require the personal discretion and direct approval of the president, meaning the auto pen is not fulfilled in this requirement. More context, an auto pen signature without the president's direct authorization or presence could undermine the pardon's legitimacy. For example, if a president were incapacitated or unaware of the auto pen's use, it might raise questions about intent. So if Joe Biden was not mentally fit, coupled with an auto pen signature, the most likely legal outcome would be the pardon not being valid. Very interesting, isn't it? It's getting more interesting the further we go along. Okay, Mr. Poole said the golden age begins March 17th, 2025. Take this with a huge grain of salt because I don't think this person's been right the whole time. Nasara Jassar is now in motion. The wealth of the world is returning to the people. The chains of the financial elite are shattered. That I do believe. They're being shattered as we speak. After tomorrow, everything changes forever. Are you ready for the biggest shift in human history? The system collapses at midnight. Be ready. I don't know. Okay? I'm taking it with a grain of salt. If it happens, it happens. It's going to happen when it happens. And there's not much me or anyone else can do about that. Marie17 said the slow kill has a few more scary truth threads yet to come. But for now, this is going to have to be, I wanted to talk to Timmy about this. So what I'm going to do is give Timmy a week to look up urolithin A. I've got to write that down so I can text it to Timmy. Hang on. Urolithin A. So I will text that to Timmy for next week, right? Because I want to read this and go over this next week. So what I'm going to do is bookmark to a folder, mesical, because I can't spell medical. Hit the wrong key. So that's where I'm going to put it, and we're going to read it over there. Okay, next week. It's apparently a fountain of youth. Okay, I don't know. Allegedly, right? Okay, Real Ben said they have indeed come out to fight, which means we've reached the final boss, the final battle. Who's come out to fight? What are we talking about here?
Jews are angry with me because they are the absolute master of the.
Okay, I think he's talking about Jewish people. Okay. Anyway, okay, Real Ben said Macron and Zelensky greeting each other looks like some kind of preview for a Brokeback Mountain sequel. I think they're in love. Look at them. This one just can't wait to jump on him. Look at that. Look at that. Look. Okay. What do you think? Two puffs. Okay, yep, there we go. Tim Young said, imagine being dumb enough to believe her when she said she didn't do it on purpose. This woman, he hit one of her opponents with the baton she had in her hand. And she's trying to say it was a mistake. I didn't mean to do it. Yeah, right. Hey, that looked like she was laughing.
We stand with you. That's why we're here. We stand with you. We support you.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontational. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
Yeah, I don't believe her. I don't believe she's sorry because at the beginning here, it looks like she's laughing. Watch this. Ready? Like, listen to the sound and watch her face.
We stand with you.
Right before it turns to like, oh, tears. That looked and sounded like she was laughing. And she did do it on purpose. How do you not do that on purpose, mate? It was a literally on purpose hit. Okay, Libs of TikTok said Democrats are huge liars. The only person cutting Medicaid benefits is New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She even had disabled New Yorkers arrested for protesting about it. She overhauled the Medicaid home health care CD-PAP program and handed the entire contract to one company, PPL, after she rigged the bidding. 600 plus New York businesses will shut down. 100,000 New Yorkers will lose their benefits. $1 billion is going to a union who fight Trump. The consulting company who advised her to choose PPL owns 25% of PPL. Not a conflict of interest at all. PPL is not New York based and has failed in multiple other states. This switch will cost providers more, who will transfer the costs to patients. It will go into effect April 1st if it's not stopped. This is the epitome of government waste, fraud and corruption. And here they are, arresting disabled people for protesting about it. I wouldn't care. I'd go, arrest me. Go on. Arrest me anyway, you fools. Okay, Laura Loomis said, as I exclusively reported this morning, this is the NPR reporter who hit... Did anyone see the mic hit Trump in the face, the boom mic? Yeah, that's assault, mate. Okay, anyway, as I exclusively reported this morning, this is the NPR reporter who hit President Trump in the face with a boom mic. Titonka? This person. Is it? Okay, I think she hit Trump in the face on purpose. She has previously accused Trump of being pro-KKK and compared his speeches to those of Hitler. Okay, this is her here. Okay. And Laura said, scoop, I've identified the reporter who hit President real Donald Trump in the face with a boom mic this week while he was speaking to the press on the tarmac. Her name is Danielle Kurtzleben Titonka. She is the newly appointed White House reporter for NPR and a massive Trump hater and LGBTQ advocate who once suggested during the 2024 campaign that Trump only spoke in Howell, Michigan because it has ties to the KKK. Did she hit President Trump in the face on purpose? Receipts. Here she is here. And he looked at her. He gave her one of those looks, mate. He did. If I were her, I'd be watching my back. Okay, leading report said breaking President Trump says the JFK, MLK and Epstein files to be released in coming weeks. There's a new version of this post. What is it? It's the same thing. Okay. I believe he will. Oh, you can't like that one now. There you go. Okay, Heidi Murphy. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, don't you? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Heidi Murphy said Alexandra Avenue, South Yarra. It's going to be a while. The trains have been halted because this is a railway bridge, right? How does this driver not know that he will not fit under this bridge? Do you want to know how? Wait till you see. Oh, look at that. Oh, how did he not know he was going to hit the bridge? Or is he doing it on purpose? You can't just have people... Look, now Australia is accepting Indians and their university degrees from India. Not only that, we accept them with their driver's license from India, which, I don't know, but 15 years ago, I remember watching a video that they only had to drive 100 metres down a dirt road and they got their license, okay? Andy M said, what an idiot. Has anyone thought about creating a truck driver app that plans their journey through Melbourne depending on the size of their rig? Ooh, that's a very, very good idea. Anyone good with apps? Looks like Woolies found another way. What's the bet? The driver is one of Albo's invaders, and there you go, as suspected. I'll put money on it. The driver was wearing a big turban. What are the odds I'm correct, Murphy? Yes, well, we're, Yeah. Yeah, it's at least 1.2 meters tall. Oh, my God. You just can't drive anywhere when you got to know your clearance, mate. Okay, you got to know. Oh, my God. So these are the people that Albo is bringing into the country. Watch Australia fall apart completely. We got it back, said this is the house of Ukrainian President Zelensky. The mansion is worth $20 million. Located in, Pontevedra Beach, Florida. I don't think I said that right. Is this true? I don't know. Is it? Is this President Zelensky's house in Florida? Really? 4-car garage? Staircase leads to a small fountain. Beautifully designed courtyard. This looks like a computer-generated image, mate. I don't know. This looks like, I don't know, this looks like a computer-generated image to me. What do you think? Do you think it really is? Wooden walkway to the beach, pool, outdoor lounge area. Yeah, this looks like, I don't know, this looks like one of those AI things, mate. I don't know. You can let me know. Yeah, it looks fake to me, man. Like, seriously. Okay, cute. Shit flying everywhere, man. It's hard to keep up with. Cue the Bubbles said, keep your frequency high, my friends. It's not hard. Just walk away when needed. We win. Rad said, he isn't wrong. Herald Sun said, this is a newspaper in Australia, the number of people who worship the devil have doubled in Australia, with Victoria emerging as the country's satanic capital. Take a look at the latest religious trends. Victoria is Australia's satanic community capital. Does that surprise anyone? Interesting. Mick and the Gong said, great security and see the man defend himself like a machine, pansy pants. Not a number. Said a protester throws glitter at UK Labor leader Keir Starmer. Oh no, I have glitter on me. Oh no, I'll never live it down. Oops, shit. It's only a bit of glitter, mate. It's not like he threw egg or a pie in your face or, God forbid, worse. Bit of glitter, mate. Who are all these seals clapping for this brain-dead moron? Okay, anyway. Elon Musk said necessary. Congress Brandon Gill said, I'll be filing articles of impeachment against activist Judge James Boasberg this week. Federal judge orders deportation flights carrying alleged Venezuelan gangbangers to return to US, blocks Trump from invoking Alien Enemies Act. I think US, you see this word here, gangbangers, right? That means something completely different here in Australia. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyone want to tell them what it means in Australian in the comments? Yeah, that means something completely different. I have to laugh every time I hear gangbangers because, yeah, it means something completely different here. Wall Street Ape said exposed. Department of Education is laundering money back to the Democrat Party. This is why Democrats are losing their mind over Elon Musk. It's all about money. Is anyone surprised? Rep. Harriet Hagman, the Federal Department of Education spends it as a budget of about $280 million a year. Less than 25% goes to educating our students. So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes to a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant. And that consultant then donates money back to Democrats. And then it goes to a different consultant. And then it goes to an NGO. I mean, it's money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. Is the Doge program targeted at these bureaucrats? Yes. Okay, just one sec, guys. I have to blow my nose. I'm sorry. Time to break out the vitamin C again. It's cold here too. It just went cold overnight, so I'm not really surprised. And we've had chemtrails the last few days, so me sneezing and all that, I'm really not surprised. Okay, Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said if you can't see where this is headed, the direct wartime emergency powers of the chief executive, defended by an attorney general and an FBI director against a rampaging and raging partisan judiciary, which is trying to save the deep state that's being exposed and defunded, why, you're just not paying much attention these days, are you? The next couple of days are going to be fucking lit, allegedly. Hey, nice house of cards you got there, Washington, D.C. Be a real shame if somebody utterly frickin' destroyed it. ALX said breaking statement from Attorney General Pam Bondi on federal judge blocking deportations. Tonight, a DC trial judge supported trendy Aragua terrorists over the safety of Americans. TDA is represented by the ACLU. This order disregards well-established authority regarding President Trump's power, and it puts the public and law enforcement at risk. The Department of Justice is undeterred in its efforts to work with the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, and all of our partners to stop this invasion and make America safe again. A Fed judge orders deportation. Well, they ignored it anyway, so... Oh, shoot. I only clicked it once. What happened? Sorry, guys. Going to have to get motion sickness with me while I find out where I was at. Here we go. No, further down. Go a bit further. Okay, there we are. Overton said new David Sachs exposes real reasons swamp Dems are hysterical about Elon Musk's Doge cuts. Then it hit me. They have actually come to believe that this taxpayer money is theirs, and by returning it to the Treasury, Elon is stealing from them. David Sachs just nailed the swamp's meltdown over Elon Musk and Doge, arguing they're raging because they see taxpayer cash as their personal piggy bank, not the American voters. David Sachs laid it all out. I was at the State of the Union and I was up in the balcony. I was looking down at the Democrats holding up these silly little signs, and the sign that I saw most was one that said, Musk steals. I really thought about that, which is, how is Elon stealing? He's returning money to the Treasury. And then it hit me. They actually have come to believe this taxpayer money is theirs, and by returning it to the Treasury, Elon is stealing it from them. That's my best explanation of why they're in such a hysterical state about this. But of course, Elon isn't stealing anything. He's making sure that the federal government is taking good care of our money and that we're not wasting it. It's not going to corruption or fraud, and I think it's just that just has the swamp in an absolute tizzy because he, along with the president, they are draining the swamp. So there you go. Yep, they think it's their money. These people really believe it's theirs. Unseen One said, for being MAGA before MAGA, the Massey clown has no ability to read the MAGA room. The MAGA base is not anti-war, they're anti-fighting other people's wars. They're anti-20-year-long wars for no purpose. They're not isolationists, they are anti-globalists. MAGA are the blow shit up, raise a city, salt of the earth and return home with one less problem to deal with because there are 99 more to take care of and a day only has 24 hours. It's the same reason why MAGA cheered Trump when he took out ISIS and bombed them back into the Stone Age. It'll be the same when he bombs Iran's nuclear sites or starts taking out the cartels with precision strikes. They aren't anti-military spending. That's why they support an Iron Dome and upgrading the military with modern weapons. They are anti-graft and anti-kickbacks in military spending. If Massey the Clown wants to allow a group of terrorists in Iran to control one of the biggest choke points for international shipping in the world, you should ask yourself why. Maybe he likes the inflation it causes. Maybe it's for other reasons. Maybe he just hates Trump. Maybe his donors just hate Trump. And this is in response to Thomas Massey saying, regarding US activity in Yemen, I recently said to watch for a new military engagement to compensate for the pullback in Ukraine. The military-industrial complex demands about $50 billion a year from our government, above and beyond what's necessary to defend our own country. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm starting to think Massey is a rhino. What do you think? Okay, so that's what, not anti-war completely. If you need to stand up for yourself, mate, I'm for being able to defend yourself and your home, castle law. Dr. Richard Harambe said, are you happy with closing down the EPA now, the Environmental Protection Agency? Greg said, breaking, thousands of gallons of toxic waste was spilt into the Chicago River this morning. If you're in the Bay Area, stay far away to be safe. Oh, dear. All these supposed, environmental protection agencies, like they do the opposite of what they say they're doing. Do you not find this? Like all these three-letter A's, they do the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, I'm trying to calm the tickle in my throat again. iPot the official 76 said, good morning, homies. A few things. Jesus is not a Jew. The state of Israel is not the people of Israel in the Bible. Nobody's going to space. Also, I post recipes and documentaries sometimes. iPot was one of the original key people, okay, before he got kicked off YouTube. He is now on Rumble, along with a lot of other people, mate. Okay, Hank Mayer said the man who was killed at Lyndhurst last night was stabbed with machetes wielded by African males. Seems they didn't get Jacinta Allen's memo of banning machetes. Yeah, there was another one, okay? There was another attack with machetes at Lyndhurst. Is that in Melbourne? Oh, they're not banned till September, so it's okay. Okay? Insurrection Barbie said Democrats are trying to start a civil war. I don't think they realise an army who has a meltdown when they have to pick which bathroom to use is not very formidable. No. And ones who want to, get insulted because they're not called women when they're actually men and stuff like that, yeah. Melinda Richards said apparently there's no power in some areas of South Australia because of dust on the power lines. What? Hate to break it, but I'm a Liney's partner. It's true. Dirt and grime settles on insulators and causes fault if there's no intermittent rainfall to wash it off. Different areas have different issues like coastal with corrosion and winds. Why aren't they maintaining it then? Because they're too busy laundering the money into their own pockets. That's why. Alexandra Marshall said phobias arise because something is dangerous. If there is a worldwide phobia on your religion, there's probably a reason. Because Albanese, yesterday I think it was the day against Islamophobia or some shit. Dunno. Nets Melbourne said we know the Teal MPs are generally an impotent bunch of nobodies, but Monique Ryan, the member for Kooyong, has earned quite a reputation for being divisive and nasty. Today she was sprung yelling and threatening children who dared to hand out Liberal flyers in her seat. Nasty, Teal MP and Liberal volunteers in campaign spat. Kooyong MP Monique Ryan has allegedly been involved in an ugly quarrel with Liberal volunteers at a popular inner Melbourne shopping strip in which she was accused of shouting at children. Nice one. She looks like a cranky old lady. Craig Kelly said to my Canadian friends, can you explain how this bloke is now your Prime Minister? For I must have missed your election. And when did he get first elected to your parliament? Or was it a WEF coup d'etat? Liz Churchill said President Trump has declared climate change a criminal money laundering operation and a hoax. Canada's new PM will be basing all financial decisions on net zero and be taxing people into poverty to try and change the weather. And it's not going to work. Wow. Ian Miles Chong said Trump has ordered the shutdown of the United States Agency for Global Media, USAGM, which oversees Voice of America, Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Radio and Television Marty, Radio Free Asia, Middle East Broadcasting Networks. These organisations produced and disseminated far-left propaganda, including media hostile to conservatives in Central European countries such as Poland, Slovakia and Hungary, and perpetuated pro-war narratives against Russia. Journalists who showed up at the Voice of America today to broadcast their programs found themselves locked out and given termination notices. In addition, every contractor and international broadcaster funded by the organisation has had their contracts severely severed indefinitely. According to NPR, these staffers for Doge, the government cost slashing initiative led by Musk, have been camped out at the agency, gaining access to its budget, social media and other activities, according to several people with knowledge. Well done, Doge. There you go. Insurrection Barbie asked, have Marxists infiltrated the right? Of course. They are usually the people who force you to take part in struggle sessions over words, frame the world in terms of oppressor versus oppressed, cancel you for not agreeing with everything they say, amplify division, push anger and resentment to destabilise instead of discuss solutions and unify, tear it all down with no clear practical replacements, respond to constructive criticism with ad hominem attacks, use emotion instead of logic, and they're sanctimonious. Just so you know. If I'm any one of these things, throw me out with the garbage. Okay, Aussie Bot said, Australia, I make a suggestion in order to save time and heartache, control chaos. The Freedom in Unity proposal to strengthen the voice of Australians who have individual liberty and resist overreach, all freedom-focused parties, political parties in Australia, such as the Libertarian Party, United Australia Party, One Nation and others, must consolidate into a single unified party. The current division splinters the vote, weakening their impact and leaving room for establishment parties to dominate. Worse, it raises suspicions of controlled opposition, parties that posture as allies of the people but secretly serve entrenched interests. Pretending this isn't a risk is naive. Here's how it works. The lock-in summit leaders and key representatives from every Freedom Party enter a closed-door meeting. They do not leave until they've agreed to form one party complete with shared platform, structure and leadership model. No excuses and no delays. The Shill test. If any party refuses to unite despite reasonable compromise and clings to its own identity or ego over the public's interest, it exposes itself as untrustworthy, potentially a controlled opposition. The public can then judge them accordingly. People over party. The resulting Freedom Super Party isn't about any one name, leader or legacy. It's a servant of the Australian people, guided by their priorities, liberty, accountability and sovereignty, not the ambitions of its founders. The public sets the agenda, the party executes it. This isn't about erasing differences, but channeling them into a single unstoppable force. A united front can amplify the freedom movement, outmaneuver establishment tactics, and prove which players are truly on the people's side. Anything less risks perpetual weakness and betrayal. I kind of agree, actually. Actually, I do agree. What am I talking about? Why can't they get together and let's overthrow the two major parties and insert another one? Okay. Wall Street Mav said, what's your message to the London police? Breaking. London's police chief threatens arrest of Americans over online posts and says, we'll come after you. What's your message to the London police? They can get forked. I'm Australian. I'm not American. They can still get forked. Okay, Oz Integrity said, who's to blame for the rental crisis? Socialists complain that landlords are the problem. This is squarely on government taxes. Up to I didn't know this, okay, this is why I'm reading it out. Up to $115 a week in rent goes directly to councils. Up to $76 a week in rent goes directly to insurance companies. Up to 8% goes to real estate agents. On $500 a week rent, that's $231 a week to institutions other than the landlord, leaving them just $269 a week. A mortgage on a $550,000 home is about $2,900 a month, $669 a week, meaning up to $400 a week out of pocket to the landlord. This I do know, okay? Even if you could outrage that negative gearing fixes this, it doesn't. In the scenario above, the landlord could offset $20,800 loss against their income. For a person paying 32% tax, this simply means their tax burden would be reduced by about $7,280, leaving $13,520 to be worn by the landlord. Even then, for those who scream, Why should the government miss out on collecting $7,280 from this landlord? The answer is simple. It's cheaper. There's no way on earth government could supply affordable housing at $7,280 a year or $140 a week to families. But socialists will still blame the landlord and not the government. The only counter I've got against this is I've asked for my rent to be reduced and they said they can't because of the costs, right? It could be this sort of stuff. The council giving council on that money. But the people that I rent off own the home outright. Okay, they bought it for $15,000 back in the early 90s. Anyway, I suppose they still got to make some money, but it's the government anyway who's doing all this. Government are driving up the prices of housing, not only in this way, but by immigration. Jean Ho said, leak trap. Imagine telling 3 different people 3 different stories under the promise they reveal nothing. Then you go online and wait. You see which story becomes the prevailing news. Once you find the leaker, continue to feed that leaker as they believe that you believe that they are trusted. Disinformation is necessary. I don't know if you've ever done this. I had friends that... oh, dear. Everyone's having a chit-chat, you know. So I told 2 different stories, actually, and seeing which one got out, like see who did what, you know. Very interesting. But disinformation is necessary. This is why we're hearing all this disinformation. Bunt said the end of daylight savings in southwestern Sydney, where you put your clocks back, 1,200 years. Not just an hour. No. How the fuck do they even see out of this thing, mate? She's blind. Hey, I can't see any eyes, mate. That could be anyone under there. I don't know. I'm starting to worry these people might be terrorists, mate. Okay. Pepe Deluxe said it's a little deeper than just an auto pen, dearie. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than an auto pen. It's different Biden, mate. That's not even the same person. Okay. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said if you want to understand the decades-long plan you're about to see reach the end game, you need to do 2 things to get the general idea. Go to Netflix and watch a 3-part documentary, Fear City, about how the FBI, the DOJ and the SDNY under Rudy Giuliani accomplished what looked like an impossible task. They took down the 5 families. Research Operation Greylord, the LEO sting operation that exposed fraud and corruption within the legal system of Chicago in the 1980s. Once you grasp the basic strategies that were used in the 1980s to accomplish both seemingly impossible events, look again at what Q was telling you about the NSA versus the CIA. We see all, we hear all. Silent war. While the Black Hats were using the advent of digital battlefield from the 1990s to the present for their own advantage, luring the public onto social media apps and spying on everyone, developing blackmail material, for example, this also presented opportunities to the White Hats that the bad guys were mostly blind to until it was too late. Q tells them repeatedly, during the years the drops were ongoing, we see you, we hear you. Trump was not lying. They do have it all, but it must be done right. Your timetable sucks. It rushes things. Most of those who need to pay would escape. The team behind Trump, their timetable doesn't suck. And you're going to see this as events continue to unfold over the next several years. People who don't understand long game can't even begin to play it. They have neither the patience nor the psychological wiring to do the type of operations needed to take down the enemy we're fighting. This is why most commentary regarding ongoing events is worthless and is reduced to frustrated venting about hurry the fuck up already and go faster. No, this will be done right. It'll be done by the book. It'll be done so that it will stick. It will be done so that all the Roths have to fly, not just some of them. Some people think that the board team was joking when posting the drop that Renegade will claim Kenyan citizenship before this is over to try and escape accountability for playing a role in looting hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars from the US Treasury, among a myriad of other crimes he committed. You know who Renegade is, don't you? Oh, Obama. The team was not joking. Within the next few months, Doge team will move on from showing exactly how much has been stolen and laundered to showing where the laundered money went. You do know the stolen money went somewhere, right? They thought they covered their tracks and the money they stole was untraceable. But what did the board team tell them repeatedly? What did I just remind you of? We see you, we hear you. When the public starts being shown not only how much they stole, but where it went and who got it, is when the justice phase kicks off. And that's going to be one hell of a game to see. And you can quote me on that. Very, very interesting. Okay, Catherine Deeves Morgan said, I don't want Sharia law or sectarian politics in this country. But my Prime Minister is making it so I can't even say it. Islam is a violent military political ideology masquerading as a religion. It's not compatible with Western liberal democracies. And this is Anthony Albanese saying International Day to Combat Islamophobia. On the International Day to Combat Islamophobia, Australia stands firm with any expression, against any expression or act of hatred or hostility towards the Muslim community. We will not tolerate Islamophobia in any form. How about Christianophobia? Christianophobia. Hey, how about we have a day to combat that? Or how about the whole year because we are a Christian nation? Okay, it has no place in Australia and we'll combat it with full force of our laws. It goes against all we are as a nation and all that we have built together over generations. Oh my God, I can't even read it. He makes me sick, mate. Our reflections on this day take more meaning because it coincides with the anniversary of the Christchurch mosque shootings, which are fake, where 51 people had their lives stolen in what could have been a place of deepest sanctuary. Okay, you know, like the caravan with explosives in it, designed for Israel's in Australia. Yeah, this is the same kind of thing, right? Okay, I'm telling you, the Christchurch mosque shootings. The Muslim community has long been part of the breadth and richness. No, they haven't. Not for long, they haven't. No. I think he's trying to rewrite history here. Like all Australians, they have every right to be proud of who they are and to follow their faith freely and openly. No, they don't. They need to come here and integrate into our country. Sorry. My God, he's just making me sick. I can't even read it, mate. He reckons it's something to be a cherished and upheld our diversity. Mate, your own diversity, mate. How about we send Albo over to the Middle East where, if he loves them so much, send him over there. Okay. Don't you worry about that, said. I was reading a book in 1984 by Jeff MacDonald, a self-confessed ex-Communist Party member. In his book, he writes, the aim of land rights was to establish an independent Aboriginal nation recognised by the UN. The migration program is the preparation of an invasion plan. The multicultural and multi-race program is designed to break up the homogenous Australian population. This book was written over 40 years ago. Australia, how many warnings do you need? Okay, and this. Check this out. Clown World said real climate activists clean, not complain. Watch this. Okay, let's go to the beginning. Okay, I've got to turn the music off, but watch. These are real climate activists, right? So instead of like Greta Thunberg standing with a microphone in her gob, right? Why doesn't she get out and do shit like this? Why doesn't her and her little team of teenagers and little communists go and do this? This is what real climate environmentalists look like. How good is that? It's freaking amazing, mate. Look at it. That is real environmentalism. Old Soldier said ours might be next. Secretary Marco Rubio said South Africa's ambassador to the United States is no longer welcome in our great country. Ibrahim Rasool is a race-baiting politician who hates America and hates POTUS. We have nothing to discuss with him, and so he's considered persona non grata. Did I say that right? Oh, dear. Tracy said, did the private jet have solar panels? Sky News Australia climate activist and tech billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes said he felt deep internal conflict over his recent decision to purchase a private jet. I'm sure he did. How did you get the money? Oh, he's a tech billionaire, okay. So he had a deep internal conflict, did he? Yeah, I'm sure he did. All of like 1 second of it. Oh, no, I'll buy it. It's all right. Yeah, I don't think he had any internal conflict at all, really. Yeah, did the private jet have solar panels? Is it run by solar and wind? Okay. Laurie said, I cannot believe this is Australia, in response to Albanese, the dickhead. Happy Holi now. Now it's Indians. He's celebrating everything but Australia Day. Okay, it was Ramadan the other week. Now it's Happy Holi. I cannot believe this is Australia. Why are we not celebrating Christians? Huh. Doge Designer said, plot twist, we're the aliens. I've often said that. We are the deformed aliens. We are the aliens that they went, no, yours is too stupid. We've got to give you your own planet, mate. No, I'm kidding. So we were dumped here. Anyway, yeah, that was actually a friend of mine come up with that one. And I adopted it because it sounded about right. This is 20 years ago, mind you, before I woke up. Okay, Ian Yeager said just now President Trump suggests that President Biden's pardons could be invalid because it was signed with an auto pen. Okay, and Craig Kelly again going at the punter, this guy here, again demonstrating he's a leftist teal stooge regurgitating their fake talking points. There is no such thing as a $14 billion in fossil fuel subsidies, it's a furphy. What it deceptively refers to is the fact that the road users fuel excise, a government tax on petrol and diesel, to help pay for the roads is not charged on petrol and diesel when it's used for off-road purposes such as mining trucks and equipment and tractors used on farms. Not charging the roads user fuel excise for petrol diesel used off-road is not a subsidy. To claim it's a subsidy is like saying beer is subsidised because the excise in spirits, $103.31 per litre of alcohol, is higher than the excise on beer, $61.57 per litre on alcohol. So this guy's not exactly getting it right. And he's going after Dutton, I've noticed. He doesn't go after Albanese, really. Okay. Anyway, I unsubbed from him. I subbed to him on YouTube and then had to unsub when I realised how much of a lefty he is. And that he's got an agenda, okay? If you're just a lefty, it doesn't matter. But if you've got an agenda, yeah. Way of the World said 2 real Aussie blokes teach African home invaders a lesson with a sledgehammer. Okay, apparently.
Seriously, man. But I won't put it. Bang! Did you get him in?
Mate, I got him.
Right.
Well, this one, whilst he's in the car. Whilst he's in the car.
Try to steal a car, you fucking ugly thing.
Well, you got him one. Yeah. Gave him 2 in the car.
There's a lot of there.
Where did the car? There you go. Give him one.
You got him one.
Yeah, watch this. When he goes down there, bang, I booted him so hard in the head. Get him one, man.
The next one, up the top there. Watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if you heard me snort. This guy's in his undies. And I just snorted. Okay.
Give him one. He just missed me with the car.
He was coming toward you.
Yeah, he went back when Bowie went to him.
They would have had a shock and a half.
Smokes Magamba.
That's real Aussies coming out in your underwear. Okay. DOQ said so-called patriots are turning on Trump and Elon. I've shown you over and over again this battle is deep and it's ancient. The real evil is the British and Rothschild hidden hand partnerships that have taken advantage of Dutch settlers and other early colonists. This is a battle that's been going on from the days of Cain versus Abel. Trump is fighting the good fight. He's fooling the enemy, and I'm loving every second of it. More popcorn, please. Me too. Okay, Darren Farrelly said if there's an Islamic terror attack on St. Pat's Day, then every Muslim living here would be best advised to leave. This country would literally explode. It's a power keg already. These politicians have pushed us all too far. People are tired of being gaslit and played for fools. One incident is all it's going to take, and I believe that is in Ireland. By the way, happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone. Okay, Oz Integrity said Australian politicians, here's a few policies I demand. Enshrine free speech. End all excise, fuel, smokes and alcohol. Exit the Paris Accord. Exit the WHO and UN. Ban the WF Association. Cancel foreign aid. Build new coal infrastructure. End Agenda 2030 programs. Income splitting for couples. Create government no-frills bank. Ban all subsidies to any foreign-owned company. Judicial Oversight Commission, prosecutions for misleading public for politicians, prosecutions for deceptive advertising in campaigns, mechanism for public to petition government to force an action, net zero immigration for 10 years, tax-free threshold lifted to $75,000, and ban foreign ownership of new homes. I agree with that one too. Well said. Okay. Malcolm Roberts said Australians have valid concerns about Indian degrees being considered equal to Australian degrees, especially given the serious issues with cheating and degree fraud in Indian universities, where degrees can be purchased for as little as $3,700. Minister Wong's response was unsettling in the lack of concern for Australians. The minister did acknowledge that industries with professional associations, such as health, could require further study, testing or mentorship. Imagine, okay, they go and buy a degree in the medical field for $3,700 and they're going to operate on you? However, Minister Wong did not mention that this agreement will lead to competition between Australians who studied for 3 to 5 years and paid substantial fees and Indian graduates who may not have. These Australians now have a substantial HECS debt which requires a salary capable of paying off the debt while providing for their future. This situation is a recipe for the erosion of wages and job prospects for Australian graduates and ultimately a reduction in the number of Australians prepared to risk the expense of university. One Nation will tear up this agreement. Wow. That's insane. I don't know. If I have to go to the hospital and I see an Indian doctor, oh mate, what are you going to do? Ask for a new one? God help us. Okay, sorry, I keep having to stop to wipe my nose with a tissue because it's running. True Blue Rebels said doxing is a criminal offence in Australia. Australia's Parliament passed the Privacy and Other Legislation Amendment Act 2024, which introduced specific provisions to criminalise doxing as a part of broader privacy reforms. Doxing, defined as the intentional, malicious online exposure of an individual's personal information, example name, address, contact details without their consent, has been recognised as a growing form of cyber harassment. Criminal offences, Section 474(17)(c), standard offence. This applies when an individual uses a carriage service, example the internet or phone networks, to publish or distribute personal information in a way that a reasonable person would consider menacing or harassing. The maximum penalty is 6 years imprisonment. Exemptions and safeguard. There are no blanket exemptions for professions like journalism, but the law specifies that conduct is only criminal if it's deemed menacing or harassing in context. Civil remedy, statutory tort. Victims can sue for damages under a new statutory tort for serious invasions of privacy. Legal ramifications. Ooh, to journalists too. For perpetrators, criminal penalties, the introduction of jail terms up to 6 to 7 years. marks a significant escalation from previous laws where doxing might have been addressed indirectly under Section 47417, using a carriage managed as menace, harass or offend with lighter penalties of up to 3 years. For victims, redress and protection, victims gain dual avenues for justice, criminal charges against offenders and civil actions for damages. Wow. Okay, I had no idea about that either. Yeah, doxing, no matter what, is a horrible thing. No one should ever do that. Insurrection Barbie said on 1/15/2025, Trump said on Truth Social that no one in the orbit of the Koch network would be part of his administration. Yet the Koch network is actively trying to sabotage President Trump's foreign policy in his second term by getting all these Koch-adjacent people into positions of power in the administration. They think people won't pick up on it because they're 5 degrees of separation. All of these people who espouse Barack Obama's foreign policy positions like Iran, having nuclear weapons, free trade with China, no tariffs, and only focusing on the Mexican drug cartels instead of their Chinese business partners who gave them what they need to traffic the fentanyl. I couldn't figure out what all these random people had in common besides their obsession with hating Israel until I realised that the only thing that ties them together is Coke money. Here in Australia, we would pronounce that kosh. And now it makes perfect sense. Everyone is looking at what these seemingly random people have been saying recently instead of looking at what they said during the first Trump term. They all think China's not a threat and we should be engaging in free trade with them. Why? Well, because Coke has all his money tied up in companies who depend on manufacturing and supply chains. Either China tariffs on China will be detrimental. Hey, that doesn't make sense. They were all very vocal on how tariffs are bad, open borders and cheap labour are good. I should have expected that the man who saddled us with Mike Pence during the first term would find a way to get people into the second Trump term. Wow. Interesting. Stephen said an amazing 92% of Australians want to replace the Department of E-Safety with Doge. Are you one of them? Definitely. Awakened Outlaw said if a notable cash reward was offered for information that would lead to the perpetrators of the swatting, I'd wager someone would jump at the opportunity. Someone somewhere talked, you know they did. And since they're shitty people to begin with, it's pretty likely they have shitty friends. And shitty friends do shitty things like rat out their friends if the price is right. Okay, John Goddard said sometimes I walk down the street and notice that everyone's different now. They all say they're coming here for a better life, but what cost to me? I can look back 200 years and see the impact my family had here, and now they want to come and reap the fruits of our labour? That doesn't seem fair or reasonable. I wouldn't expect to walk into someone else's house and rely on their hospitality. But I have manners and maybe they don't, and maybe that's why my society gives the opportunities it does. The people had manners, were civilised, actually cared about making things clean and efficient, improving them. And so we made the best nation there was. But now it's no longer the best because it's overcrowded and smelly and dirty. It's like the third world countries we sent aid to. And I don't like it. I don't want to live in cramped squalor. This is not what the place was built for. Exactly. Wow. Who was that? John Goddard. That's in Australia then. Wow. But this is what it's like. I mean, you go to Penrith School, anywhere in Penrith, and watch the schools empty out. Betty Johnson said, this is so encouraging to see. I've notified the state of Florida after our swatting. The police told me they have the identity of the terrorists making these false swatting calls. Yet the state of Florida refuses to give evidence to my attorney so I can sue them into the Stone Age and destroy their lives. My children were home when we were swatted, and I'm not the only Floridian this has happened to. Stop protecting terrorists who prey on Christian conservative families. Time to fight back. FBI Director Kash Patel said, I want to address the alarming rising in swatting incidents targeting media figures. The FBI is aware of this dangerous trend, and my team and I are already taking action to investigate and hold those responsible accountable. This isn't about politics. Weaponizing law enforcement against any American is not only morally reprehensible, but also endangers lives, including those of our officers. This will not be tolerated. We are fully committed to working with local law enforcement to crack down on these crimes. More updates to come. Yeah, it is domestic terrorism. It should be treated as such. Now we're into Rand Paul. I don't know about this guy. I don't know. Maybe he's all right. Just tried to put President's Doge foreign aid cuts into law. 27 Republicans voted to cut foreign aid, but 26 Republicans and all Democrats voted to keep funding foreign aid at Biden levels. What a disappointment. Those who voted with me, 27. Okay, no, he's all right. I don't know, something from years ago. Something he said years ago made me question. I can't remember what it was. But there you go. They tried to put President Doge's foreign aid cuts into law. So he did the right thing there. Laura Lemmer said that's a very good question. The former President's Protection Act of 2012 ensures lifetime Secret Service protection for former presidents and their spouses, with children under 16 also receiving protection according to the Secret Service. If Biden signed an extension of protection for his son before leaving office, President Trump has the authority to revoke it ASAP. I thought Secret Service was low on resources. Isn't that why they almost let Trump's brain explode in 4K on live TV? Looks like they have plenty of resources since Hunter has 12 Secret Service agent details per day during his long-term luxury vacation in South Africa for the next 6 weeks to 3 months. Seems like the Secret Service still has a lot of problems. Hopefully Trump revokes it so he can save our tax dollars. Talk about a waste of money. Former President's Protection Act of 2012 ensures lifetime Secret Service protection for former presidents, their spouses with children under 16, also receiving protection according to the Secret Service. How is this allowed now with the new administration? There you go. And going to Western Australia, the notice has said Western Australia's state election has been described as a threat to democracy amid calls for a probe into why staffing and vote counting was outsourced to a foreign company that has donated $67,500 to Labor. I think our last 4 years was done like this. Clown Down Under said Ukraine's ambassador to Australia wants more Bushmasters. What's your opinion on this? Well, wait till you see what they've done with the Bushmasters. They've captured them. Sean Conway said Russia captures most of the Australian Bushmasters, bound for a museum, I suppose. Russia captures 19 of the 30 Aussie Bushmasters, claiming they are superior to anything in the US, from the US. I don't know. So make of that what you will. The White Rabbit podcast asked, why is Australia at war with Russia? Australia gives further Bushmasters to Ukraine. Okay, and more of the Russians flaunting captured Australian Bushmasters on Channel 7. Arrived from Australia, country of platypus and kangaroo. Nearby there's another Bushmaster burned to the ground. Parking brake. Awesome. Like a Jeep. Can I have one? We express our gratitude to Australia's Ministry of Defence, Bushmaster. It will serve us well. Don't know what he's saying. Embassy of Russia in Australia. Russian forces will put them to proper use. I'm sorry, but that's funny. Okay. And apparently Bohemian Atmosphere said Starmer warns Putin. What is he warning him for? Starmer warns Putin not to play games as UK host meeting of world leaders on Ukraine. Starmer, you got no power at all, really. And Gunther Egerman said Ghetto Rep Jasmine Crockett suggests Trump's negotiating with Putin will lead to the World War III. She is AOC dumb. And so am I. Because I said the World War III.
Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories, and some of them are killing people. It's the same thing that we have coming out of Doge. It's the reason that people are dying. It's the reason that farmers are losing their farms, because we continue to peddle conspiracy theories. It is time for us to say, Mr. President, guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter. Y'all, this is literally potentially putting us into an international crisis. We may be heading towards the next world war because we have a president that wants to pal around with Putin and wants to do everything to make him feel good, including lying about who invaded who.
She's lying. Sorry. NATO started it. NATO with Ukraine started it. Johnny Maga said Trump says he spoke with Putin yesterday and asked him to spare the lives of Ukrainian soldiers that his military has surrounded. Donald J. Trump said we had very good and productive discussions with Vladimir Putin of Russia yesterday, and there's very good chance that this horrible bloody war can finally come to an end. But at this very moment, thousands of Ukrainian troops are completely surrounded by the Russian military and in a very bad and vulnerable position. I have strongly requested to President Putin that their lives be spared. This would be a horrible massacre, one not seen since World War II. God bless them all. And J. Cash MAGA Queen said, big news, Putin has just answered President Trump's appeal and agrees to spare the lives of the surrounded Ukrainian soldiers in Kursk, provided they surrender and lay down their arms. Okay, the last refuge said, understand and accept that this with great seriousness. There are no honourable rank and file inside this organisation. Every member of the FBI is a participant in the weaponisation of power and government. The members are jackboots recruited from ideological college campuses for exactly the purpose of supporting a Stasi-like police state. Through the last several years, we've discovered how the FBI worked inside Twitter, Facebook and social media to control information, remove content, and manipulate opinion on behalf of the US government. All activity political. We've also learned that the FBI took active measures to suppress information about the Hunter Biden laptop and control any negative consequences for the Biden regime. Again, political. These are not disputed realities. The US Department of Justice and FBI are now political institutions that have abandoned their originating mission in order to become the domestic equivalent of the Soviet-era FSB. Their joint targeting mechanisms have been redesigned to support the interests of corrupt DC politicians, specifically the interests of Democrats. And Elon Musk shared this, the European Union. Imagine you love so much being governed that you want a government for your government, because that's what it is. Gunther Eagleman said the gloves are off. First off, my family is safe. My house was just swatted. Some ignorant fuck called in a fake hostage situation. Fortunately, I have good relations with law enforcement and extra patrols will be added. I don't tolerate threats and I'll find the culprit. This was their worst mistake. And I Am America was replying to Radio Genoa, who said, Keir Starmer claims the problem in England is Islamophobia. You and the horse you rode in on, mate. Same as our Prime Minister. I Am America said Keir Starmer is Islamophobia anything like invasionophobia, rapeophobia, murderophobia, robophobia, or acostophobia? They hate Jews, Christians, atheists, gays, dogs, bacon, wine, beer, coconuts, your civilization, your culture, your traditions, your country, and you. Complains about Islamophobia when they hate everyone. Yeah, right. James Melville said, we've set out a roadmap for farming, which has been welcomed by farmers. Keir Starmer, a shameful lie. No farmers welcome his roadmap of inheritance tax, abandoning the SFI payments and compulsory purchase of land by local authorities. A roadmap for farming destruction. So he can sell it to Bill Gates cheap. That's what that's about. Yeah, and Keir Starmer claims the problem in England is Islamophobia. Does anyone really want to listen to him? We're going to.
We've seen a devastating rise in Islamophobia, leaving people feeling fearful and unsafe in their own country.
Go back home then.
I've heard firsthand of women wearing hijab who are too scared to travel by public transport.
Good.
Of Muslim families being abused as they leave the mosque.
Go home.
The surge in Islamophobia is simply appalling. Muslim women and girls disproportionately targeted. Mosques forced to ramp up security. And British Muslims questioned as if they are terrorists. I do not want Britain to be a place where British Muslims are not able to be their whole selves, where they feel they must hide or tone down who they are for fear of being attached to views that are not their own.
If they want to be who they are and not integrate, then they should be, okay?
Where they're asked to apologise for the actions of people who do not act in their name. Our Britain is one where the enormous contributions of British Muslims are recognised and celebrated, their stories heard, their lives free from discrimination. As leader of the Labour Party, I am indebted to the contributions of Muslim members, activists and politicians who make our party what it is today.
Because that's your voting base, you fool. Send him with our Prime Minister over to the Middle East, mate. Let them go over there. And why are they coming here when they just want to bring their shit with them? Why are they escaping the country that they lived in for their lives? To come here and do the same thing again? Mate, go to hell. Seriously? And Robert Boyd Esquire says, does Keir Starmer put out these types of videos to irritate the British? I'm sure he does.
Now, I don't want to hold up events any longer, and the timing of tonight is not important.
Okay, fuck you, mate. Time is in other hands, so we've got time to keep to time. Thank you for being here. We've got a really good opportunity to have a discussion later about your work, turning England Muslim, bringing communities together and breaking down barriers, so breaking down like Christianity. Challenging misconceptions has to be done over and over and over again, you know that, and supporting other young people. So it's fantastic for me to be sharing this iftar with you and throwing open the doors at number 10 and opening and demonstrating that this building belongs to you as much as everyone else. I don't want to hold up events any longer. Okay, thank God it's over. Jesus Christ. Okay, concerned citizen said in Keir Starmer's younger days he got to hang with Jimmy Savile. When he was older, Starmer embraced communism in Eastern Europe. Now he's beholden to Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab and the globalists. Make sense yet? Okay, there he is. Jimmy Savile. Then he appears in communist spy files after joining a Czechoslovakian work camp at the height of the Cold War. And there you go. Okay, and this is the time where Trump got shoved in the face with a mic. Spitfire. Whoever just shoved that mic in Trump's face is going to have a very long night. Are you ready for this?
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the hopes now to get the hostages back?
She just became a big story tonight, right? Yes, sir. Did you see that?
She just became a big story tonight. The one that knocked him in the face with the thing, the boom mic. Trump Army said thousands of patriots sing God Bless the USA at a Kid Rock concert. The mainstream media will never show you this. Are you ready for this? There ain't no doubt this land. God bless USA. Okay, anyway, I was singing in the background there. Betty Johnson said, holy smokes, President Trump says the fake news media is operating illegally. I believe CNN and MSNBC are political arms of the Democrat Party, and they are really corrupt and illegal.
I believe that CNN and MSDNC, who literally write 97.6% bad about me, are political arms of the Democrat Party. And in my opinion, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. What they do is illegal. It makes no difference how big a victory I had. I can have the biggest victory in history. It makes no difference what kind of a failure the other side has. And I believe that CNN...
There you go. Yeah, that was really low in volume, that one. Okay, Clandestine said, wow, Trump is actually preventing World War III. Putin speaks on restoring Russian-American relations and says that Trump is doing everything possible to reverse the damage caused by the Biden administration. Putin confirms he had a phone call with Trump and is willing to spare the lives of the surrounded Ukrainian soldiers. But they committed crimes against civilians and will be prosecuted as terrorists. Overall, what you should take from this is that Trump is holding true to his word as the peacemaker and is taking significant steps towards not just ending this conflict, but towards normalizing relations with Russia and permanently ending this Cold War we're in with Russia before it escalates into full-scale World War III. Trump's diplomacy is saving the world. So there you go. He's not just saying, don't kill the army. What they're going to do is still put them on trial, okay? Paul A. says, Pula said woman thinks she's being cute by asking the cartel to take out President Trump. What she's doing is committing a federal crime. Secret Service, please arrest her.
This message is for the cartel. We didn't ask for this. We don't want any problems with you. Honestly, I was a big fan of your products in my 20s, okay? I had a lot of fun. But might I suggest breaking the rules, get high on your own supply, and the man you're looking for lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. Maybe pay him a little visit. This message...
Oh, dear love. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, they need to go and look at this lady. Who is this lady? Who is she? Lady, you are a fucking donkey. Mate, seriously. Making light of killing, fentanyl deaths and drug use. Typical leftist. Apparently she lost too many brain cells in her 20s. Dead Rabbit says, darling, you do know the cartel will rape you and give you Columbia neckties going away gift, don't you? She's standing with the cartels? Are you fucking serious? Nick Sautor said, breaking, President Trump just announced our forces have killed the leader of ISIS in Iraq. His miserable life was terminated. Peace through strength. Let's fucking go. Donald Trump said today the fugitive leader of ISIS in Iraq was killed. He was relentlessly hunted down by our intrepid warfighters. His miserable life was terminated along with other members of ISIS in coordination with the Iraqi government and the Kurdish regional government. Peace through strength. And that's it for today. So let's go back to the comments and see how far back I can get. There. Hey, Real Housewife of Margaritaville, and I think that's Paranormal Oz. I knew that about Victoria being full of Satanism. That's why the Victorian Police has the inverted pentagram on its logo. Yes, it does. Real Housewife of Margaritaville. How you going? Good to see you. George, good to see you. Nisi, good to see you. Zelensky's house isn't computer generated. It's a Google Earth view. It's plain program. I have it. Oh, okay. There you go. J1, how you going? Albo Sleazy spent $450 million to get told no. Zena, how you going? Wow, the way some people live. Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Paulie Donuts, how you going? Hi, all. George, everyone, how is everyone doing? Alex said, when did that happen with the glitter and Starmer? You can't polish a turd. Nisi said, look like that. J1 said, cheaper electricity. Yes. That's how Anthony Albanese talks. He actually talks like he is drunk and trying to hold in his teeth. I don't know. George says, Starmer wears glitter with Lord Ali. MJ, how you going? Did I say hello, George? How you going, George? Good to see you guys. Alex said, a little bit ill, but always makes me feel better being here. I hope you're well, Menacing Muskrat. Yeah, I'm not feeling too well today myself. That's why I suggested maybe we leave the call in till next week. Because, yeah, yesterday I was sneezing and coughing all day. And, yeah. And today I just woke up really not feeling well. Paulie Donut said, Alex, why don't you do a vid on us running away together? MJ said, I heard it in my head as I read it. Deb said, need lots of red glitter. Zena said the guy just ruined his future, may even lose his life for that. Susie said Victoria, British Columbia is the satanic capital of North America and second only to Geneva, Switzerland in the world. Alistair Crowley chose it specifically because of the ley lines. Victoria and Oz the same? Possibly. Sorry, I had to mute myself while I was coughing. That's another thing, the cough that I've had in the last week or so. And then my daughter wasn't well either, and I babysat my little granddaughter and not sure, so I'm just going to see how I go. But yeah, Susie, I think it's the same here. Zena said, you don't embarrass them. It seems to be a cardinal sin. George said, Paulie, where are you both running away to? Okay, Alex said, yeah, now he has an excuse to tell his wife, George. Deb said, yes, Albo is too. And I've seen both Debs were here before at the beginning, Deb J and Deb R. And how you guys going? And Alex, how you going? It's good to see you all. Paulie Donut said, only messing Alex. I just got notification of your video this morning. I'll watch it later tonight. Menacing Muskrat said, Ottawa too, Susie, but I know Victoria, BC is really bad. We had a house on how do you say that? Wow. Cadrebo Bay? Cadrebo, I don't know. Susie said, I don't think it's a coincidence that both parties are called Victoria. Both places are called Victoria. Queen Victoria's engagement ring was a snake inlaid with rubies for eyes. She wore it her whole life. Ooh, interesting, Susie. Thank you. J1 said Victoria's Secret. MJ has a little surprise face there. Menacing Muskrat said, Susie, Oprah and Hackman owned islands in that area too. Paulie Donuts, good to see ya. George, anywhere better than where I am. MJ said, I remember the snake dress Elizabeth wore. Snake on the sleeve, chewed at times. They've been at it forever, it seems. Deb said, Albo wanted to be re-elected. He's going to send Australia to Ukraine. Yes. It's not going to work for him. It's going to have the opposite effect, I believe. Alex said, it would be nice to run away, especially the way the UK is going. Did you hear about the new Ofsted chairman? It gets worse by the bloody day. I hope you enjoy it, Paulie. Nisi said, I don't like Massey, plus he's gone to talk. He's on the receiving end of some aid. Ah, there you go. J1 said, just ban the Africans. Menacing Muskrat said, MJ, wasn't there a painting of Queen Elizabeth I restored and they discovered a snake in the painting? Deb said, chop away till the band comes in. George said, yes, I don't blame you, Alex. I would move out of London in a heartbeat if I had the money. Yeah, if I had the money, I'd be moving out of the country, mate. Moving to the country, I'm going to eat a lot of peaches. MJ said she didn't hide it at all, Menacing. It's wild. J1 said, if you're found with an African, you get 20 years. Paulie Donut said, Alex, I'm going into hibernation. Nisi said, remember the board said, beware of those that yell the loudest? Yes. Zena said, that extra couple of $100 in my account every week instead of giving it to taxation would have alleviated the need for credit. Exactly. Alex said, I don't blame you, Paulie Donuts. Deb said, service to self, our government. Zena said, we've all been living in a self-sustained parasite. Yes, I think we have. Deb said, vile people. And Deb's laughing, children. Alex said, yes, we have a choice between demonic or even more demonic, Deb. Susie said Alistair Crowley did sky-clad rituals in a Ross Bay cemetery in Victoria. This was in the 40s and he did it right out in the open. Deb said, I know getting the Jabberwocky did not stop climate change. J1 said, Alex, possession is real. Studio said, I never would have picked Craig Kelly as a loving father of a Down syndrome child. Good on him. I know. Oh, my heart went out to him when I seen that. I didn't even know. I've been following him for years, and I did not know that he had a Down syndrome child. Deb said, oh, my God, I didn't know that, Susie. MJ said, I have a theory, but I'm not sure. JZ said to have 15 children. Diddler, a lot too. Even Elon, don't get pissy with me. I believe a lot of the Lucy's are under the polygamists. MJ said undercover, sorry. No, that's okay. Yeah, I won't get pissy with you. MJ, you can say what you want, honestly. I don't mind. It's like we've all got our own mind. We all think our own way. And I never tell anyone what to think. You have your own thought pattern and way of getting there, and everyone does. So I encourage everyone to think for themselves, use their own discernment, and do their own research as well. Alex said, I think a lot of them have demonic attachments. They don't care about humanity at all, completely psychopathic. Susie said there are megalithic sites like Henges on Vancouver Island that they have kept covered up, but those in the know try to harness the power of these places. Studio U said, is Babbitt committing political suicide attaching Clive Palmer to his party? No, I don't believe so. Stu said, g'day, George. Alex said, was that where they supposedly opened a portal and couldn't close it because the other guy died? Can't remember the other guy's name, Susie. J1 said Clive did well at the press club. Susie said, and all this goes back to the fact that British Columbia is one of the 10 visible remnants left of Lemuria. This was the good part of Atlantis. Deb's got knives and forks ready. George said the London police chief is a twat. MJ said, geez, it's so freaking windy tonight. Yeah, we had mad wind last night. Hey, that gazebo's still standing. I ended up putting a splint in it. So where the metal arm broke, I put another piece of metal up there and tied it all the way from where it wasn't broken, you know. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but like a splint you put on a broken leg, okay? I did that with my broken gazebo. See how it goes. I don't know. Okay, Studio, you said we have such a short memory as Clive was involved in a few dodgy deals with big mining companies and their workers. I don't trust the fat git. Yeah, that was probably mainstream. Was that back in 2020, 2019? Even before that, you know, I don't know. Out to lunch said if I was into this, that when Dad was alive, we would have had so much to talk about, lol. Menacing Muskrat said, be right back. Alex said, yes, often over ley lines, Susie. Deb said, I know someone who does this. MJ said, girls learn this in high school. Tell a friend you like a guy. Next thing, she's after him. Yep. George said, could be a bloke behind that hijab. Yeah, exactly. Susie said, so used in the right hands, this could help humanity to be what we always were meant to be, our higher selves. The height of compassion, intelligence, they know that and they are terrified. Zeta said, Hev, if they don't get together in unity, then for sure they can't be at the stage where they are truly fighting for our interests instead of theirs. Yeah, I believe so. They need to get together to make a full party to get the other ones out. Alex said, I was just about to say that. Could be anyone under there. I know that terrorists have escaped in burqas. Zeta said, Pryor in the back room, secret handshakes. Is what you get when you make promises for donations. Deb said, and they laughed at Pauline for wearing a burqa into Parliament. Yeah, look at it now. George said, these people have sold their souls. Alex said, yes, it's happened before. I don't think they shouldn't be allowed. I thought they came to our countries to escape their tyrannical regimes, but instead they're just bringing it over, George. Exactly. Stu said, what men need is noise-cancelling headphones, not potato sacks to adorn their wives with. Oh, God love you.
Timar28 tipped $200. I'm here-ish. I've been handling a small patient emergency. Nothing huge. I'm on the phone with the patient talking them out of the trees, so they are still alive? Are we still doing a live call in, Hev?
No, Timmy, I woke up sick this morning, so I'm going to postpone it till next week, but I'm going to give you a subject to research for me. And God love ya. You're talking to someone out of the trees. Oh, God love ya. Timmy, stay on the call. The person needs you. Oh, God love you, Timmy. You're a legend, mate. Seriously. I don't know. I'm going to send you the message, but write this down if you can. It's called Urolithin A. UROLITHINA. And it's supposed to be like a fountain of youth thing, Timmy. And that's what we'll be talking about next week when I have my call in. I'm so sorry. I was sneezing and my eyes were watering and running and itchy all day yesterday, and now I've woken up this morning not feeling well. So I will definitely do it next week. Is that okay? I'm so sorry. But I hope the person's okay, Timmy. Oh, God love you. Yeah, just keep talking to the person. Oh, my God. Don't let them, tell them it's all right. I don't know. Do your thing, Timmy. I know you know what you're doing. So, if we can make it next week instead of this week, would be really good. Sorry, I've just got a very runny nose as well. But, if we can do that next week. Alex isn't feeling well either. So, is that okay? God love you. And that might give you more time. So it might have worked out kind of well if you are needing to be talking with a patient. So that might have actually turned out well. Okay. Sorry, Stu said what men need is noise-cancelling earphones, not potato sacks to adorn their wives with. On your Stu. Deb's laughing at me going, oh, bummer. Deb said people are starting to get uncomfortable. Oh, I hope so. Because I'm very uncomfortable right now with the way things are going. I mean, I want to get to the country. I really want to get to the country. Zena said, brilliant solution, Stu. Zena said, serious. George said, we are letting Islamist terrors into the UK, Alex. I've got to take some more vitamin C. I've got to just take for a couple of days now just to make sure I don't get the flu completely. Deb said, not anymore, Hev. Zena said, it's worse when you see them chained. J1 said, Albo Sleazy needs to be arrested. MJ said, isn't it illegal to pray in public? What? Pick a lane? Apparently, yes. I don't understand why it's illegal to pray in public if you're a Christian, but it's all right to get on them in the middle of the road and do your, what is it called, a prayer 3 times a day? Kneeling on the road and praying and bowing and all that. Yeah. And Deb said, so Albo's now a Muslim. I think they all are, and I think they all should be sent over to the Middle East with all these immigrants they brought over, send them all back, including our politicians who support them, and let them all go and live over there. Seriously. George said, illegal for Christians to pray in public, but not for Islamists. Exactly, George. J1 said, Muslim Brotherhood, Friday 13th family. Oh, sorry, the 13th family, not Friday the 13th. Sorry, J1, I'm reading words that aren't even there now. I must be very sick. J1 said, Muslim Brotherhood, the 13th family. MJ said, bing bong, yup, dumbasses, these people. Deb said, thank you, J1. Starchild said, the song Glorious says so much more than what people think, in my opinion. Hi, guys. In the bushes. God love you, Starchild. Zena said, take God out of school, but put prayer rooms in. Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, Zena, Islamic prayer rooms, exactly. Alex said, yes, we're going to step closer to it day by day. It's all by design. It has to be, George. George said, I thought the Muslim Brotherhood was banned in the UK. Apparently not. MJ said, my son has just told me about their prayer rooms at school. Really? Zena said, it's just Shriners. I'm telling you, they're all secretly wear the fez. I've got to look that up. I've got it written down, Zena. J1 said, George, Obama equals Muslim Brotherhood. Yes, he does. Alex said, they're also turning churches into mosques, Zena. Yep, they've been doing that here in Australia for years. Zena said, UK is almost lawless now. Zena said, they love to wear their robes and crowns and sit in the high places. Well, don't forget this after this is over, that you guys need your arms back just as much as we do. You need to be able to protect your homes, your families. And this is, I think, what we're being shown. A part of this is why the Americans have their Second Amendment. Zena said they love to wear their robes and crowns and sit in the high places. Oh, yes, they do too, don't they? George said the UK is falling apart. Zena said, but I'm hoping that we may be more evolved to deal with it differently. Zena said, hopefully our words will be enough. George said, St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I think it's today in Australia. Is it the 17th? Because it's the 17th in Australia, which means it's St. Pat's Day today in Australia. Now, happy St. Pat's Day to everyone, guys. Alex said, yes, it's been going that way for a while now, and it's all covered up by the MSM, so normies never get a true picture of how terrible it's really getting, Zena. J1 said, George, they have ambitions for Australia to follow the UK path, which they do. MJ said, my mum always said to us as kids, you know what Thought did? He thought he did, but he didn't. They count on you thinking Thought he did, but he didn't. Well done, MJ. J1 said, thought he fell out of bed, so he got out to have a look. George said Australia should not follow the UK path, Jay. No. Yeah, Alex, St. Paddy's Day is always a great time, except I'm sick. And I don't celebrate, I don't go out anymore, so I just stay at home. So I celebrate quietly by myself with most things these days. Oh, dear. Zena said 20 years ago I got lost in Western Sydney trying to drive to Canberra. I stopped at Penrith for direction. Not one person I asked for directions spoke English. Not in the street, not in the shop. Oh, no, Zena. No spigot of English. Yes, exactly. You spigot of English, you better spigot of English if you come over to the spigot of English countries. Okay? J1 said, George, hopefully not. George said, Australia needs to get rid of the Australian Labor Party. Exactly. Sorry, guys, give me a sec. Dear God. Okay. J1 said, George, Trump has them speeding things up, though. They're scared shitless. They are. Yes, I agree with you, J1. Sena said, because Greta's a layabout, no good junk machine. She's incapable of good works. Exactly. That's why they don't actually get out and do anything, you know. They just get up on their little podiums and preach to everyone else. Zena said 40 years ago, Tempe and Sydney was Little Lebanon. George said they should be scared shitless, Jay. MJ said, sure, ask for another doctor, yes. Do you reckon you can, though? Because we have free healthcare here in Australia, especially if you're a pensioner or something like that, right? So it pretty much is whoever you get, pretty much. Can you ask for a different doctor, though? Say you're in a hospital and you're going in for an operation, you meet your doctor and he's Indian. I don't know. I'd be a bit worried, put it that way. Zena said, oh, Diddums have a pang of conscience. All it took was to buy a private plane, lols. Yeah, exactly. Alex said, doxing is a horrible thing to do. It is. MJ said, my best friend's stepdad was Lebanese, but Christian Lebanese. He was a good guy, but he went through hell, married a bit of hell in America. Her mum, oh boy. Oh, yeah, no, there are good Lebanese Christians. There really are. There are. I've met some Lebanese that are lovely people. They're Christian too, you know. So the Christian Lebanese, they're good. It's just, if you want to be a Muslim, why don't you go to a Muslim country and live there and be Muslim? Not in our countries, please. We are Christian countries. George said Christians are being murdered by Islamists. Yeah, in Syria. Sena said, individually, I have no problem. When they take over a suburb, it's a problem. Somehow they get to own the place. Yes, they do. J1 said, I love living in the bush. I wish I was in the bush. In the country, actually, with the bush around, you know. Deb said, please give Hev a thumbs up for her awesome news reporting. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. God love yous. Zena said, imagine just sitting here having your coffee and then your next door neighbour goes off like that. So funny. Yeah, it'd be weird. George said, living in the bush sounds good to me, Jay. Alex said, my best friend at Catholic school was Muslim and her family escaped Iran because it was tyrannical. They all adopted a British way of life. Look, people like that I have no problem with. The Muslims that come here, leave it behind and adopt the Australian way of life, I don't have a problem with. Okay? It's just the ones that bring it here and then they want to be like they were in their own country. Go back there if you want that. MJ said, Alex, he could cook. Amazing. J1 said it's fantastic, not going to lie. Debs said, thank you, Albo, for destroying our country. Zeta said, I'm on board with that list. George said, release the Epstein files and lock this scumbag up for life. Sorry, guys. I've got to keep, clearing my throat, coughing, sniffing, blowing my nose. Oh, my God. Zena said, Deb, Albo is just the icing on the cake. I blame Keating. I blame all our previous prime ministers. Because this didn't just happen now. This has been happening for a long time. Slowly, so nobody notices. This is how they work. They creep in. It creeps in. MJ said, my grandparents were elderly. My grandma fell. The neighbour upstairs carried her to a chair. They respect elderly. They were from Iran also. There you go, see? J1 said, I blame the Queen. Deb R said, and sell out King J1. Studio said, always question why country towns miles from anywhere or lump in together in city-sized blocks still. Sheesh town planners are to blame. Yeah, I agree with that too, Stu. People should have space, mate. Everyone should have space around their home. Zeta said, well, there are many tentacles to this creature. There are. It's worse than an octopus. J1 said, pretty sure the king has no subjects in Australia anymore after his last visit. No premiers even showed up. Good. Not my king. George said, Charlie boy is a weak king and a traitor. Zena said, it seems like Charlie becoming king is more like a wet dream. Yes. And let's hope it stays that way. Deb R said, thanking Albo for giving away our resources. Zena said, I concur, George. He wears the fez. MJ said, Jasmine Croc, oh shit. Yes. J1 said, Australia was sold out from the start, just a cattle farm. Susie said, I'm back, finished all the washing up. What did I miss? Zena said, do these politicians know what blood they have on their hands? I'm sure they do. They don't care. I don't think they care. Because if they didn't know, they'd have to be like seriously intellectually disabled to not realise what they're doing. Deb said, no need for a king anymore. Alex said, he will never be my king. He's a horrible inbred parasite, George. Zena said, Susie, say something about the king. Zena said, sausage fingers. George said, not my king. Zena said, what king wants to be a tampon? Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? He said that. He wanted to be Camilla's tampon or something. Yuck. Fucking yuck, sorry. Deb said, not legitimate king anyway. Zena said, oops, did I bring up the past? George said, who would want to be Camilla's Tampax? Yes, exactly. MJ said, cheers. Denise read books she read about Mountbatten. Oh, wow. Alex said, oh, bless your grandma. I'm glad they were there when she needed them. Yes, MJ, yep. That's Alex that said that to MJ. Studio said, I don't need or want a king or queen anymore. No, I just want to go and live in the country on land and have my chickens and get other animals. I want cows. I want sheep. I want land. I want a little house on land. I don't need a massive bloody mansion. I just want a house on land. Okay. J1 said, Albo sleazy, not my prime minister, but we are subject to his Looney Tunes Satan worshipping ass, yes. And Deb R said, douche, Zena. not calling you one, just saying, he is the king is a douche. MJ said, recommended, I agree with, Nora regime. Deb said he didn't even like her anymore. Even he didn't like her anymore. Susie said, by the way, I meant to ask, do the Kidman relatives living in Victoria? I know both of the Nicole's parents were a living challenge, but she must have cousins and aunties and uncles. You know what? I don't really know where the Kidmans live. J1 said, governess harder, Daddy. Exactly. And I hate that. Anyone who wants to be governed harder, mate, seriously, I don't know. You need a mental health check. Seriously. George said, the problem in England is the anti-white and anti-British crap. MJ said, how can you hate dogs? I know, how? Mate, seriously. Don't even want to think what they do to cats. Zena said, glitching. I'm always glitching all through Hev stream. Sorry, guys. That's all right, Zena. God love you. Flyby said, changing my name too late again. G'day. How you going, Flyby, Stu? Don't do that, because if you change your name, I won't know who you are for ages. Alex said, I automatically get a red flag at people who don't like animals. Yeah. George says, Starmer takes it up the arse from Lord Alley while wearing glitter. Oh, dear. Senator said, no, she's AOC dumber. J1 said, meanwhile, Muslims murdering Christians daily. Exactly. Robert, how you going? Good to see you. Chin plan implants. Trannies are everywhere. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's another thing I'm sick of. Sick of people going, oh, we're all abused. Yeah, I don't know. Studio said fashionably late. Idea, it's okay, Fly. Zena said people are dying, says she with her 2-inch fingernails and wig. Yeah, exactly. And look, it was Ukraine and NATO who started the war because I'm pretty sure NATO signed an agreement years and years and years ago that they would not encroach on Russia's doorstep, and they did, along with Ukraine. They may have used Ukraine to do it, but they did. Alex said, I cannot stand Starmer. He makes my skin crawl. Look, all of our politicians make, like the Canadian one. Go back to the very beginning of the stream and you'll hear about the Canadian one, a WF plant, a coup d'etat, actually. Yeah, I can't stand Anthony Albanese. I can't stand Starmer. I couldn't stand Trudeau, Biden, Kamala, Hillary. I can't stand a whole lot of them, actually. Labor said, George said Labor are anti-British. Sanders said Starmer the harmer. J1 said Alex possession, not human. Zena said, I think he thinks he is Starmer the charmer. MJ said rape gangs. Robert said cartoon American dad makes fun of their chin plants. Oh, okay, yep. Susie said, Zena, you mean Charles? I know Arizona Wilder stated that he was at all the rituals she was made to attend. His mentor was Mountbatten, and the two people Charles loved most in the world were him plus Queen Mum. MJ said, what they keep silent about. Senator said, it's not a government, Hev, it's our democracy. Sarcasm. Yeah. J1 said, Susie. Zena said, we love football, meat pies, kangaroos, and Holden cars. Yes, we do. Come on, Aussie, come on, come on. Come on, Aussie, come on. Can you hear I'm running out of puff? Oh, no. I'm so tired right now. Deb said, hello, Robert. Alex said, perfect name for him, Zena. MJ said, Susie Mountbatten, bad. Zena said, yeah, man, talking about that king. Studio said, Caroline Trump, press secretary, is way too sharp for human. Is she a bot? Wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't know. You never know. Robert said, hola, amigos. How you going? No, Alex said he is for sure. Demonic J1. Flyby said, George, thanks for saying that. He definitely a wrong'un. Starmer, Rama, the bummer, sorry. Zena said, Starmer, we cannot afford them the life they want. Understand that. George said, Mountbatten was blown up on his boat by the IRA. Susie said, Zena, Charles looks weak, but I wouldn't be too sure he's making way for William, who they say is the Antichrist. J1 said, you only need to see Charles' portrait. Zena said, stupid, perhaps more, but more likely the girl is just super smart, super mentally switched on, and a super good communicator. There are people like that still. MJ said, offshoot 100, RE Wills, yes. Alex said, he reminds me of Mr. DeFrayis from Phone Jacker. I'd like to make a complaint, please. I don't know that. Oh, wow. Alex said, Starmer, that is. Stu said, I love a Zena. George said, I was watching some Phone Jacker on YouTube the other day, Alex. J1 said, silly girl. Robert said, chemtrailed all day Friday. Yesterday it was hundreds of tornadoes and 32 dead. That's what we've had. And now I feel like I'm getting some kind of flu. Hang on, I've got a cough again, guys. Dear God. Okay. So, yeah, Robert, we've had the same thing. chemtrails all over the place. MJ said 5-finger forehead. Deb J says she's in deep shit. Zena said, Susie, yes, not saying he's weak, he is bad, deep down bad, and might be paving the way for his son. William just might be that, but perhaps it's a grandchild. And it jumped on me. Yeah, I think I need some chicken soup, Deb. Where was I up to? Shit. Oh my God, I was way back. Okay, I'm here. Okay, Zena said, Susie, yes, not saying he's weak, he's bad. I read that one. Zena said, funny if he got a bruise, what would the MSM say about that? Zena said, MAGA forever. Stu said, 5-finger foreskin. Alex said, phone jacker cracks me up, that's why they call me Terry Tibbs, thank you and good night. Face jacker is also good, lol. I've not heard of him. Alex said, they do a good impression of Albo in that cartoon you play, Hev. Yeah, the, what was it, Pauline Hanson's one? Susie says, Zena, when you see these people and they get outed for certain iniquity, then you know that that is actually the disgusting proclivity of the creatures that is really running them. Flyby Stew said, sausage fingers asked me, another in Russian, same head. Zena said, can see that girl in jail, not a good thing, no. Alex said, yes, where he dressed up as the characters. They probably have it on YouTube. Check it out. It's funny, George. George said, I'll check it out, Alex. Flyby saying, g'day. Good evening. Deb said, yes, the old Dynamite twins are here. MJ said, what will happen to Danielle who whacks a president with a microphone? Any predictions? I don't know. Someone should get the microphone and start whacking her back with it. I don't know. An eye for an eye type of thing. I don't know. She's been writing hit pieces on Trump for years, though. Senator said, not sure who's worse, the psycho behind the scenes or the flying monkey taking and carrying out the orders. Exactly. George said, they're all clowns, Zena. MJ said, that song will be in my head now. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. I love it. Wasn't that the Presidents of the United States? That band? I love that band. Some of their songs are funny as, man. Okay, Susie said, have any of you guys heard about what's really going on with the Pope? He's sick, he's better, he's sending messages. What's up with that? I don't know. I think they're waiting for something big to happen so they can go, oh, the Pope died. Because they do that with them. They put them on ice for a while, mate, and say they're still alive, even when they're not. And then they wait for a big news break of something they don't want to be breaking in the news, and they cover it with the Pope's dead or something, you know. Flyby said, learn to whistle, thank you. Alex said, you wouldn't be disappointed. I just checked. There are episodes on YouTube. George said, probably an AI Pope, Susie. Yeah, remember the disappearing Pope in the window? Remember that? He turned around and he just disappeared. MJ said, Pope is doing jump rope, double Dutch. Alex said, yeah, anyone remember the hologram Pope? Yes, exactly. Zena said, we got elbow. Susie said, George, I don't think Bergoglio has been around for ages, but why all this now? Daly said, I remember Alex. George said, yeah, I remember that, Alex, and he disappeared. Flyby said, same as Shameless. Alex, it goes to Series 6 and that's your lot no more. Alex said, just disappeared from the window, dealer. Yeah, he did. Robert said, Madam Blavatsky, the secret doctrine. Audio video is 34 hours, secret is out. Oh, really? Sounds interesting, Robert. Hey, where's Shannon been lately? Is he all right? I hope he's all right. I haven't seen him for a few days. I'm just wondering, make sure he's all right. Okay, Flyby said, yo, Dealey. MJ said 3 to 4 hours or 34 hours. Dealey said, hey, Flyby Stu. Alex said, Shameless was a great series. I only got into it in the second or third series back in the day. Frank Gallagher, Flyby Stu. Everyone's calling out, Timmy, good on you, Timmy. And prayers for the patient. Yep. And hope the patient is okay. George said, Shameless was a good series. Deb said, Alex and our Hev are poorly. Yep. Deb said, thank you. Thank God for our Timmy. God love him. Oh, he's a legend, mate. Seriously. George said the American version of Shameless was crap. Susie says, Alex and Hev colds? Yeah, something like that. I'm really tired, eh? Deb said, such a very big heart as our Timmy he is. Alex said, yeah, a little bit snotty tonight. Not so nice for a call-in show. Yeah, I've got to keep muting my microphone to cough, snort, and and blow my nose and sniff and all sorts of things. So, yeah, I thought I'd leave it till next week. And that way I can give Timmy time to look up what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Alex said, I started feeling it last night. Hopefully it goes in a couple of days, Susie. George said, I hope you feel better soon, Alex. Alex said, we love Timmy. We do. Flyby Stu said, Alex, there's a channel on YouTube called Shameless. They posted block videos of 3 episodes. They got to series 6 and no more, so I'm buying Amazon stick or something to get the rest. Deb said, yes, you could hide many things. Alex said, thank you, George. I thought it was going to be a cough too, but that seems to have calmed down now, thank goodness. Deb said, yes, please have Shriners. Yep. Alex said, I think they pray 5 times a day. I saw a few of them doing it in Aldi car park once. Yeah, it's insane. Alex said, I'll have to check it out. Do you have Amazon Prime? Maybe the whole series is on there. MJ says 17th in America. Yeah, it's the 17th here today in Australia. I don't know if you can see that tiny writing in the bottom right-hand corner, but it is the 17th, Monday the 17th of March, 2025. Alex said, may have to pay for it, though. Flyby Stu said, get well soon, Alex. Is Vic still good or has it been called out? I can't remember. As far as I know, Vic's is all right. Alex said, we'll be here 17th here in 15 minutes for St. Paddy's Day. Studio said, I'll give Max an extra St. Pat. Deb said, I'm educated, so I don't celebrate Paddy Day. Alex said, thank you. Thanks, Flyby Stu. I have a salt solution to spray, which is helping a bit. Del, how you going, Del? Good evening, fine humans. Zena said they won't serve you in a shop in Cairo during prayer time. Wow. Hey, Pat, how you going? Good to see ya. Deb said, flap the gums. Everyone's saying hello. Del's saying hello, and everyone's saying hello to Pat and Del. Del said, George, good evening, my Celtic cousin. Hope you had a grand day. Good to see you always. Del said, underbelly ones, and they took over fucking bikies. What the fuck? Really? Zena said, Understanding Conspiracy Channel is a very interesting one to watch. He does a whole video on Shriners and other interesting topics. Hang on a sec. Okay, I've got to write that down. Understanding Conspiracy, because I'm going to spend the day in bed and I'm going to watch some videos, and that will be one of them. And Shriners. Understanding Conspiracy and Shriners. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Zena. Flyby said, Alex, I don't have anything. I only just got broadband before. I had a hotspot off my phone, but I'm on it. Amazon stick is £60. Prime is $80 a year. Zena said, he's a Christian from England. Okay. George said, Del, good to see you as well, bro. Deb J. Pardon me. Said their plan is to take over the world. The Muzzies. Yes. That's always been their plan, Deb. And they're still going at it. Deb Richardson said, chicken soup have, yes. Del said, Zena, good evening. Good to see you, Zena. J1 said, horseworm I have. Zena said, wow, so much chat that I missed. J1 said, lols. Del said, they hate us and it's infiltrate, assimilate, and then decimate. For fuck's sake, England is full of chip-on-shoulder racist ones who hate white people. Exactly. I think we should send all the immigrants back to their own country since they want to still live like that, right? They're not escaping anything. They're just coming here to take over and bring all the shit with them. And then any of our politicians that want to follow, scream Islamophobia and shit, they can go back with them. Let's send them to the Middle East as well. All the supporters who are in our parliament can all go over there and live. Yeah. Dell said, the new £20 notes with Charles' face, I write nonce on them and spend it. Yep. Zena said, all the good doctors don't take on new patients. I know. Yeah, I've come across that here. George said, lol, Dell, good idea. Sherry said, the elite sacrifice their own. They think nothing of us. Exactly. How you going, Sherry? Did I say hello to you before? Oh, God, love you. MJ said, yes, he did. It was gross. He wanted to be her tampon. Yes, he did. Zena said, hey, Flyby, nice to meet you as well. Hope you're doing well. Deb said, the politicians live in paradise, so they don't give a shit for the plebs. I know. Zena said, I remember reading it on the cover of A Woman's Day. Dell said, Mountbatten was a prolific fiddler. That's why the IRA done him. MJ said, Arizona said they used hers and made tea with it, so it all adds up. He was related to Dracula. Vlad the Impaler. Susie said, the royal family made a point of going over all the Commonwealth and seemed to have a soft spot for Oz, yet come here more times than anywhere else. Prince Philip came here 74 times. Oh, dear God. Probably directing our government on what to do. Deb said, yes, that's true. My doctor is awesome and he can't take any new patients. Yeah, because they're over flooded. We've let that many immigrants in the country, even the doctors can't handle it. Flyby said, Dell Strain, very good idea. Collect 20s and I have not come across any as yet. Susie said, give us your patient's name and we'll pray for him, Timmy. Just pray for him. Just go as Timmy's patient and pray for him. Deb said, yes, the king would be a douche, not a tampon. There you go. Sherry said, I want a small farm, Hev. That's all I want. My landlord is selling my house, gave me first option, but I have no credit to get a loan. Oh, Sherry, I hear you, because I wouldn't have either. I've never had credit. I don't get credit. Except, what's the fucking thing called? Afterpay. That's bad, man. No. Don't ever do that shit, right? Anyway, but yeah, I hear you, Sherry. That would be my problem too. I was offered a house. It was on 7 acres for $250,000 back in 1995 or 6. Couldn't afford it. And I missed that house. Zena said, Susie, oh my God, 74 times. How many children? Susie said, just the first name, Timmy. Even letters, a letter of the first name. George said, Charlie boy, we got lost in Camilla's mouth. Bush. Sorry, what did I say mouth for? Oh my God, I can't even read now. Zena said, oh, Sherry, I'm in love. Hold on. Sorry, I got carried away then. Okay, every time I say, oh, Sherry, I want to sing that song. I love that song. Anyway, George actually said Charlie boy would get lost in Camilla's bush, right? Didn't say in a mouth. Zena said, oh, Sherry, I wish you could manifest something that would be brilliant. Dell said, I had in the last few months, Flyby Stew, I had in the last few months had about 10 mate out of, say, a grand, but they are out there. So everyone, I do it and will keep I'm doing it. Only once someone said, what's this? I shrugged. Truth. Zena said, king of the WEF. MJ said, Zena, sadly. Debar said, Charles has a mistress now. He's married to Camille. Oh, did you hear about apparently Obama and Jennifer Aniston? Their affair was allegedly the truth. I thought he was gay. I'm sure he is. Is Jennifer Aniston a woman? I'm asking now. I mean, a lot of people don't think she's a woman, so I don't know. Dell said, Hev, did they break past promise? NATO are the problem. They did break. Yeah, they are, exactly. Zena said it was secretly recorded phone call, wishing and hoping. Deb said Dutton's not any better. I know. No, Dutton's not any better. No, we need a completely new party. With people who are for the Australian people. Jeez, it's not that hard to ask. It's not that hard, it's not that hard to do, really. Sherry said it would be, Zena. I love it here. I raised my grandkids here and now my great-granddaughter. I don't want to let... Oh, Sherry. Pray for Sherry. Pray for Tim's patient and anyone else who's sick or not doing well or had someone pass away, or just pray for everybody, right? But especially Sherry and Tim's patient. Alex said, I don't blame you. I hardly use anything either. I have Roku, which is much cheaper. I got mine in B&M for £15. A couple of years ago. I think it's about 20 now. Can even get Rumble on it too, Flyby Stu. Yes, you can on Roku, yes. Zena said, I want Pauline, Orange Woman, awesome. Yeah. Flyby said, Sherry, I had this very same thing, not in a buying position, had to move. I know. I've been there too. God love you. Yeah, Orange. Deb. Alex said, I just had to sort out some kitty chores now, catching up with the chat, lol. Zena said, Sherry, what a wish for myself. I will also include you because I wish for the same. Yeah, me too. And visualize it. Visualize some land with a little house on it and visualize it. It's going to come true. It has to. God help me. Sherry said, it's heartbreaking, Flyby Stu. Yeah, Alex said, I'm sure there is recording of him wanting to be a tampon. Disgusting, MJ. Zena said, and it just jumped. Where was I up to? Holy shit, I'm way back in the chat. Oh my God, how far? Yeah, here. So I'm going to get a posse in the etheric world and make the Matrix work for us instead of them. Turn it round. Zena said, if you've been there for that long, you have to have a relationship. You have a relationship with that land. Yeah. Susie said, Zena, they own thousands and thousands of acres of land here too, 60,000 in BC that they will admit to alone, but British dukes own tons of land here too. Every time they visit, they disappear there. Same in Australia, it's called Crown Land. And there's heaps of it. We're not allowed. George said, there is a recording, Alex. Alex said, I have to send you a clip of DeFreya's phone jack, a most irritating character, much like Starmer Hev. Oh, no. Del said, too many plane issues also. I won't be able to watch it today because I've already got a bit of a headache, so I'm thinking I'll if he sounds much like Starmer, then I'll wait. I'll wait and listen to it later. Deb said, yes, Adelaide, 42 degrees yesterday, very hot. Yeah, it was 31 here yesterday, and today it's going to be a top of 17. Del said, Deb, my uncle and cousins from there since 70s. Alex said, I would love us all to have a piece of land, our own little homesteads. I would too, honestly. Everyone. Everyone needs it. George said, would be nice, Alex. MJ said, poop. J1 said, Alex, you can't own land in Australia anymore unless you know the rainbow serpent. Yeah. Flyby said, Del, if I come across any, I'm going to do the same. If I come across any of yours, I'll put them on the other side. Fuck them. Alex said, I've not seen the new $20 note, £20 note. I'll be looking out for your artwork, Del. Deb said, waiting for Easter. Out to lunch. Said, have any of you seen the earphone that translates real time? I did see an ad for something like that, yes. George said, Charlie Boy on the £5 note as well. Zena said, Caroline has personality. That is why I think she's a real human. Del said, Alex, resistance is fertile in red pen. Or do you mean futile or fertile? Zena said, we are in a bad place where we actually discuss whether someone is a real human. I know. Isn't it ridiculous? Deb said, Pope is prophesied to go about now. Zena said, at what point is it normalised? MJ said, Zena, I agree. I want real people back. Like, even on YouTube, I don't want fucking computer-generated bullshit. I want people talking to me, not a fucking computer. I don't like it. Anyway, MJ said, Zena, I agree. Dell said, George, I forgot about that, mate. Only saw one of them. But J1 said, Zena, or in a good place, we finally realised we not where we thought we were. Lol. Susie said, isn't the rainbow serpent Quetzalcoatl? What is it? Quetzalcoatl? I believe he was a reppy. Deb said, I'll send him a message. Our Shannon has a new job, might be busy. Yeah, no, it's all right if he's busy. I just want to make sure he's okay. Just ask him, is everything okay? Is he okay? That's all I need to know. I just need to know everyone's okay. So if you're commenting later, if you're watching this later, please just say you're okay in the comments for me. Okay. Alex said, maybe they are trying to put us off cash by having Charlie's face on it. Zena said, a condom shaped like a glove just for Charlie. George said, I heard he's on the £10 note as well, but not had one of them yet. Deb said, rest and fluids to get on top of the cold, Hev. Yes. I'll be drinking lemon juice shortly and water. MJ said, it'll be juicy then. I hope you're feeling better, Hev. And anyone else feeling crappy? Yeah, I can hear my voice starting to go a bit. Zena said, another shell company to launder their money, Alex, lols. Zena said, let's make gloves. Deb R said, Vic is still good. Vic's is still good, yes. Carl, how you going? You just joined. George says, City of London launders money. Dell said, Alex, I get big amounts out. Most people tap cards. I don't have cash. I'm old school, cash only. Yes, I'm very much like that too. Zena said they wait for ritual day. If they die before their time, they hold them on ice. Zena said it's all planned years ahead. And good to see you, Carl, by the way. Glad to see you. Yeah, it's all planned years ahead, Zena, yep. And they fuck up by dying early, yep. Alex said, I think Shannon's okay. I think he's working shifts, so he may still be asleep. He texted me yesterday and said he was going to fall into his pool just before bed as it was 44 degrees Celsius. I don't know how he copes. Oh, good, okay. As long as he's okay, that's the main thing. And Kai, yeah, Zena, Kai. Geez, I hope Kai's all right too. That's what I mean. Pray for everyone not here and pray for everyone who's like Timmy's patient and Sherry who might have to move and oh, dear God. Out to lunch said, is the drug that lengthened the telomeres on the end of the DNA strand. I've seen something about it. That would be interesting to hear, Dr. Tim. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send him a message with the name of it as soon as I'm done. Flyby said, when I go for my money to Moz, it'll be asking for Charlie's portrait, lol. Oh, yeah, for fuck's sake. Alex said, yes, I try and use cash too, Del. Del said, George, UK narco economy, mate. We export medical weed and arms, all shops gone, all barbers, nail bars, ice cream, etc., laundering. Glasgow, Liverpool, narco economies. Man, only cash from it. Susie said, what was the original reason they gave for starting the war in Ukraine? I think Russia actually, I don't know, but I think Russia was getting its nose out of joint because of Ukraine and NATO, like they started building up right on the border, you know, doing weird things right on the border, and Russia said, hey, 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 and then that was, I think, the beginning of it. NATO probably said Russia's threatening everyone when they weren't, you know. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and have a look. Deb said, thank you, Alex. Shannon does work hard, our sweet. We love our Shannon. Yes, we do. Zena said, Susie, official or unofficial? Deb said, yes, yesterday was very hard with the heat. Zena said, there's a reason and there is the truth. Sherry said, Del, I've always have paid for everything in cash. That's why I have no credit. I guess no credit worse than bad credit. I don't know. Yeah, they don't look kindly on us, Sherry, those who've never had credit, if we even try to apply for credit. Flyby said out to lunch. That'll be very interesting. And then you can only get credit. Well, if someone like me can only get credit if I have thousands of dollars in my bank account, and then why the hell would I even need credit? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't get it. Flyby said, out to lunch, that'll be very interesting. So if I even want like an $8,000 loan, I've got to have thousands in the bank. What's the point? I don't get it. George said, I prefer cash, Sherry. Alex said, oh, yeah, for sure. Goodness knows how much they've robbed us over the years and how much better things would be without these bureaucrats. I've got a cough again. Okay. Sherry said, me too, George. Del said, Sherry, me too, and anyone in the past mad enough to give me any, I knocked. Lol. Oh, and the story is? Alex said, Shannon also said that his new job doesn't allow him to listen anymore. That's if he's working when you go live, they say, oh, yep. Susie said, new leader of the Liberals that took over for Trudeau is Mark Carney. He's even more creepy than Trudeau because he isn't trying to hide his true personality behind superficial charm. Go back to the beginning of this video and listen to the first post I did. It's a WF coup d'etat. George said, Hev has a dirty mind, lol. MJ said, hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. Hold on. Yep, good song. Deb said, Hev naughty than us. Alex said, sing it, sister. Studio said, I love that song from Steve Perry too. Oh, Sherry, yes. So every time I see someone comment, oh, Sherry in the comments, I want to sing that song. Out to lunch said, we had tornadoes in the area, but I have the best defense. Insurance. God love you. MJ said, yuck. Maniston Hev. Sorry, yeah, she has a Leno chin and jaw. Yes. Zana said, I went to the Middle East thinking exotic holiday and beautiful textiles and food. It's a place where old cars go to die. Del said, bathhouse Barry's with the TV man Mickey. MJ said, ooh, Renegade and Rachel. Yeah. Where am I up to? Shit. Here somewhere. Somewhere. Yep. Zena said they are escaping that and recreating it here. Alex said, yes, I heard that about Jenny and Obama getting it on. Yuck. Deb said, prayers for all who need it. Yep. As Zena said, so is the money still legal with that the Queen's head? Yes, it should be. Del said, pull my pistols and not surrender, said the wild colonial boy. Need that spirit. Australia, rise up. England, rise up. Scotland, wake up, you Bowsy bastard robot sheep. Yeah, that's it, Del. Flyby Stew said, Zena, yeah, it's only cash I get. George said, Obama has dumped Michael. Susie said, have you gargled with salt water yet? 1 tablespoon in the hottest water you can stand, good for inflammation and any kind of infection. Sore throat is usually gone when you get to the bottom of the glass. I don't have a sore throat, though. I've just got a croaky voice. I'm a bit sniffly and I'm very tired. Like, really tired. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, that tired. Zena said, Sherry, you know the Matrix can afford to throw a bone your way? Zena said, she's a bloke. But for Obama, might be the perfect woman. Del said, my people bled from Romans to Longshanks and Mortar in Scotland now in 4th generation narco economies. Susie said, repeat the gargles throughout the day as needed, also slippery elm bark lozenges or tablets. Alex said, praying one day all land will be released and these monsters are exposed for exactly what they are. MJ said, Maniston, yeah, so many. George said, I heard he's been dating Jennifer. Del said, resistance is fertile. Susie said, George, do you mean Jennifer Maniston? Zena said, I like that one, Del. George said, yeah, Susie. George said, is Jennifer a bloke as well? Well, I don't know anymore, George, honestly. I really don't. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Who is and who isn't? Because you know these people that, you know. Sherry said, I always yell at my pharmacy recording when they will not let me talk directly to a pharmacist, so eventually they get me a person to talk to. I don't blame you, Sherry. Alex said, chicks with dicks, George. Yeah, MJ said, dudes with boobs. Izina said, Sherry, do you upset the AI, lols? MJ said, yes, sad but true. Susie said, that's always a good match, George. Their locks and keys are reversed. Flyby said, Alex, lol, but me thinks it's blokes with tits, lol. Deb said, yes, thinking about Kai too, definitely. George said, this world is upside down. Sherry said, yes, I do. A recording can't answer my questions. Zeta said, you know, the Aboriginals had possession for 50,000 years and did nothing, so what's the problem? Exactly. Alex said, I think Kai is okay. I heard from him yesterday or the day before. Love and prayers to him and Tony, definitely. J1 said, sounds like Blood Moon blues going around, ritual residue. Deb R said, trying to hide what Ukraine is really up to. Yes. Alex said, yeah, probably all the soy boys fly by. J1 said, smile and give thanks and most of it will wash off immediately. Stu said, every time I pick up the phone, Sherry, they give me options and excuses after telling me it's recorded. I yell the fuck out of them on hold, then compose myself when they answer. Zena said, J1 accidentally fell out of the hive and so glad I did. Flyby said, George, that's what the globalists want, upside down when they think we'll expect their new world order get to affect her demonic puffs. Sherry said, same studio. J1 said, Zena with a thumbs up. Alex said, getting credit was one of the worst things I did. They made so much money off people. They give people money they don't have and then charge well over the odds with interest rates. Exactly. George said, Kai did leave a heart on the reggae dub music you put on YouTube, Alex. Oh, God love him. Yeah, Alex said, I love Kai and Tony. They are good people. Yes, they are, George. Flyby said, big respect, Hev. Thanks for your time. Deb said, oh, my God, out to lunch just so long as you're all safe. George said, I do watch Kai's videos every now and then. Alex said, hopefully he does another live soon, George. Del said, now they have facial recognition at the bank. Oh, really? I haven't been to a bank for years. I go to the keycard machine. That's got cameras on it as well. Actually, so do our supermarket self-service checkouts, so beware. Alex said, it's definitely a backwards world, and that's why I think the end is near. Yeah, the end of their world, not ours. J1 said, Del, everything going bio ID. Deb said, my mum was trying to tell me that I can only believe CNN's news and to avoid social media. Oh, Deb, your poor mum. Oh, God love her. Oh, no. Alex said, I know. Hopefully your mum will soon realise it's the other way around. Susie said, in the new earth that's coming, wouldn't it be great if we could have a big self-sufficient farm among us good uns in this chat? We could own it together, every kind of fruit and veg, healthy animals, exactly. Del said, J1, I know, man, brave new world, and Big Brother is FUBAR. It's FUBAR. Studio said, Hev's speeding it up. We got to let it go soon. Yeah. I can feel a headache coming on. Alex said, yeah, the end of their world, not ours. Exactly. J1 said, crypto called IOTA is taking care of digital ID for the Internet of Things. Invest now, lols. MJ said, Susie, love that. Alex said that would be lovely, Susie. Deb said, yes, my son was told he can get a tradie loan and pay 16% interest. He told them no thanks. No way, that's heaps. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. I don't know if I'll be back. If I'm missing tomorrow, you know I'm just a little bit unwell, and I'll be back as soon as possible. Yeah, Del, self-sufficiency is now a crime. Oh, Deb, that's what's wrong then. Your mum's highly educated. Yep, that's probably what's wrong. Alex said, great live, and everyone hope you feel better soon. Sending love. Sue said, yeah, MJ, visualise it can happen. Flyby said, it's going to kick off worldwide. Don't use facial rec in supermarkets. Totally refuse walkout. And Deb said, much love to all the Hevites. And with that, I'm going to go. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, guys. I'm going to go back to bed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.